Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ketchel. I've owned this motorcycle now for about 6 years, and I have to say it's one of my favorites. I've owned several over the last few years, and I've put a lot of time and money into this one specifically. And because of that, I wanted to go back and take a look at everything I've done on my Ducati Scrambler. I want to go over how much it's cost me over the last 6 years, the modifications I've done to it, what I've loved, what I haven't, and just give you a rundown on what it costs to make a bike like this your own, and hopefully convince you guys to go get one. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that, and let's get started. Bought this bike almost out of necessity. Now, I've had nearly a handful of motorcycles over the last 10 years, some for a matter of months and then fewer for more than a year. I'm just the second owner on this 2017 Ducati, and I bought it with just a little more than 1,400 miles. Now, in 2017, the base cost for the Desert Sled was $11,500. When I bought it in October of 2019, I bought it for a fraction of the cost at $7,000. Now, with the registration and insurance, that cost me another $400 for a South Carolina title and about $200 per year on insurance through Progressive. The first modification I made to my Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled was installing the new Rage Cycles Fender Eliminator. This sleek and minimalist design not only enhances the overall look of the bike, but it also produces a cleaner rear end, which is what I was really going for. It was a straightforward installation process, and I'm really pleased with the result. This is one of my favorite upgrades to the bike, as it completely cleans up the back end and overall just looks great. It's usually on sale for less than $200 on Amazon, and you can have it installed in just about an hour or so. I highly recommend this one. This one cost me $191.65 from Revzilla. While we're talking about the back end, I added the Hepco and Becker mini rack and primarily use it for holding a RotoPax 1-gallon tank. The mini rack is perfect for carrying additional gear or luggage, and the RotoPax tank provides extra fuel capacity, ensuring I can explore those remote areas without any worries. These two additions have greatly increased the practicality of the Desert Sled. One of my largest complaints with the Desert Sled is its fuel capacity. You can probably max out around 160 to 180 miles on one tank, so the extra gallon is pretty clutch when you're out there in the backcountry. For comparison, my 2013 Kawasaki KLR 650 has a 5-gallon tank, and I'm usually able to get up to at least 250 miles. So if you're worried about gas mileage, I recommend making this easy addition to the bike. Super easy to put on and take off if you're just taking the bike out in town versus out on a big trip. The Hepco and Becker mini rack will set you back about $200, while the RotoPax 1-gallon tank will cost about $60. My setup cost me $201.75 for the rack from motomachines.com, $59.95 for the 1-gallon tank, $24.95 for the mounting plate, $59.95 for the locks and pack mount, and then $23.25 for shipping. So it can add up a bit. Now, having the mini rack is great, as I can also expand my carrying capacity for longer trips. I opted for the Kriega dry packs and used a setup of 3 bags to combine for 40 liters of extra storage. Now with Kriega, you have the benefit of knowing that everything is waterproof. This dry pack is incredibly versatile and allows me to bring along all the essential gear for those adventurous off-road trips. The 40-liter combo cost me $407.74, and I splurged on a Kriega tool roll that cost another $41.34. On top of that, I purchased the Kriega tank adapter a few months later, which allows me to mount the dry pack securely on the fuel tank. This cost me $42.45. Now let's shift forward and talk about the Dart fly screen. Although a lot of people find it beneficial in reducing wind buffeting and noise, I personally did not enjoy it as much. The aesthetics didn't quite match my vision for the bike, and I felt like it disrupted the rugged and minimalist look of the Desert Sled. It was just small enough to not make enough of a difference on the highway, yet just large enough to be a bit of an eyesore. I'm still looking around for another option on this one, and will let you guys know what I find. I spent $148.95 on the windshield from Dart's fly screens, and then ended up selling it on eBay for $92.62. On the other hand, I did add some carbon fiber panels and a carbon fiber front fender to enhance the overall style. Now these carbon fiber additions not only reduce the weight, but also give the bike a little bit more of aggressive and sporty appearance. This is just one of those preference type things. One of the things I love about motorcycles is the ability to customize nearly everything on the bike. Now the cost, if you want to pursue this as well, is a bit steep. I spent $359.99 on the tank panels and then $189.99 on the front fender. I was able to buy both of these off of motocomposites.com and then got the Ducati sticker off of motowheels.com for $21.90. To cut the cost on the carbon fiber parts, I sold the old front fender and tank panels on eBay and got $123.61 back for the aluminum tank panels and $75 back for the front fender. One of the most significant modifications I've made to improve the performance and sound of my Desert Sled was installing the Aero Pro Race exhaust and then upgrading the air filter. The Aero Pro Race exhaust not only shaves off some of the weight, but also provides a deep and throaty exhaust note that complements the bike's character perfectly. I mean, just listen to it. I made 3 videos on the steps it took to swap out the stock exhaust and swap in the Aero Pro Race exhaust, and I recommend looking back at those if you're interested in the swap. It's a pretty easy modification for the average at-home mechanic, and if you're willing to spend the money, it's definitely worth it. This modification cost me $738.90 off of motivationusa.com for the exhaust, and then $74.10 off of jegs.com for the K&N air filter. Now, to optimize the performance of my Desert Sled that's now fitted with the Aero Pro Race exhaust, I had a custom exhaust map done by Rexer. This custom exhaust map ensures the fuel and air mixture is perfectly tuned to maximize power and throttle response. Overall, it's torquier, louder, and just a completely different ride. I absolutely love it. Now, the hassle that it took to get the exhaust map installed was the biggest headache of this whole process. I incorrectly bought the ECU tuning tool made by Rexer, first from Daniel Moto, a German company, only to find out that was not going to work. So I paid for return shipping, returned it, and maybe got 70% of my money back from that. I then found Rexer USA and purchased another Evo user unit from them with the Aero Pro Race exhaust map installed, which cost me $632.61. However, with my original mistake, it cost me $740. Next, I switched out the stock tires for the Shinko 705 dual sport tires. These tires offer excellent traction both on and off road, giving me so much more confidence in both terrains. While I bought the tires off Redzilla for $220, I took off the wheels myself and had Cycle Gear do the tire change for me. The service cost me $30 for the tire change, and the new chain was an additional $80 cost. I upgraded the turn signals to Shin-Yo LED signals, which are much smaller than the original turn signals, look so much better, and got them on Amazon for $54.45. Now let's talk about some of the upgrades that I have planned for the future. First on the list is a new Mugello slim seat with some new side panels for the frame. I'm holding off on this one as I've forgotten where I stored the side panels these last few years, so once I find the panels, I'll make the swap. The seat and panels both came straight from Thailand, and altogether the total cost was $655. Now, from buying both the seat and the side panels to receiving them, it took about 3 months, so if you go this route, just be patient, they'll get there eventually. So, what's the total cost I've spent on my Ducati Scrambler? Yeah, it's a little bit steep, and I suppose I'll leave it at that. Let me know what your guys' favorite modification is so far, what you've done on your own bike, Ducati, Triumph, Kawasaki, whatever it is, and then what else you'd like to see me do on this bike. Going through this process has definitely been a bit eye-opening. I didn't think I had spent that much, but I would do it again 10 times over. I love this bike so much, and it's definitely going to be with me for a long time. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Catch y'all.